Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into what I think is a really fascinating modern behavioral mystery, the hidden psychology behind people who completely refuse to post photos of themselves online. If you've ever found yourself wondering why certain people leave absolutely zero digital footprint, well, you're definitely in the right place. So I want you to picture that one person you know. Come on, you definitely have someone like this in your life, or at least hovering somewhere in your broader social circle. They never post selfies, no photos of their lunch, no 15-photo carousels of their avocado toast, nothing about their birthday parties, their vacations, or major life updates. I mean, in a digital landscape where pretty much everyone is shouting for just a sliver of the spotlight, these people almost seem invisible. It creates this immediate sense of mystery, doesn't it? Like, why are they hiding? Well, here's the absolute core premise of our explainer today. In a world that actively rewards attention, their digital silence is actually a strategy. This lack of posting isn't just random. It's a highly calculated behavior that, from a psychological standpoint, reveals some incredibly deep emotional intelligence, a totally rock-solid mindset, and real, genuine confidence. Honestly, they aren't missing out. They are deliberately opting out. Section 1. The invisible online user and redefining the ghost. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it dismantles our usual assumptions. Usually, we assume people with absolutely no digital footprint are just shy, maybe awkward, or even that they're hiding something. But that stigma, it's a complete myth. The psychological reality is entirely different. People who rarely post pictures are actually incredibly grounded. They're emotionally intelligent, highly secure, and completely comfortable in their own skin without ever needing an audience to prove it. Section 2, privacy over popularity and controlling the narrative. See, while most people are constantly out there seeking external validation, endlessly chasing that quick dopamine hit from likes, comments, and notifications, non-posters profoundly value maintaining control over their own narrative. They rely entirely on self-validation. They actively protect their mental space. They simply do not feel the need to broadcast their life to the internet just to feel good about it. And honestly, that is a massive subtle sign of true inner security. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 3, the emotionally secure mindset and the power of self-awareness. This brings us to a really crucial psychological term that we need to unpack: self-concept clarity. Basically, research shows that people who share less online have a tremendously strong sense of exactly who they are. They know their values, they know their goals, and they know what truly matters to them, all without needing anyone else to applaud them for it. Because their happiness comes purely from within, they're practically immune to chasing internet trends or comparing themselves to total strangers. This creates a really stark contrast in how people actually live their daily lives. Think about it. An approval-seeking mindset is inherently anxious, right? Because it completely relies on others to survive. But the emotionally secure mindset, it feels complete, and it stays totally focused on the real world. These individuals don't post selfies to prove their worth because they already feel whole. They're far less anxious and vastly more focused on actual, tangible goals. Furthermore, these individuals typically possess what's known as the deep thinker mindset. They're highly introspective, they think carefully before they speak, and they only post when something genuinely matters to them, not just for the sake of feeding some algorithm. They aren't just hiding in the shadows, you guys. They are simply prioritizing authentic, real-world conversations over superficial digital interactions. They value real substance over digital showboating. And this brilliantly illustrates a cognitive trait known as an internal locus of evaluation. So what does that mean? It means they judge themselves strictly by their own personal standards, not by the shifting standards or the metrics of the crowd. They never rely on a jury of their online peers to tell them if they're living a good life. Section 4. Avoiding the digital illusion and escaping the highlight reel. To really grasp this, we have to look at the darker side of social media. Psychologists refer to this trap as social comparison theory. It's that endless, exhausting cycle where people constantly measure their own real-life worth against the highly curated, heavily filtered highlight reels of everyone else. By actively staying low-key and offline, non-posters are deliberately protecting their mental health from that exact exhausting cycle. They choose peace over performance. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Logging off isn't a weakness. Choosing not to perform for an invisible audience is actually a deliberate, highly protective superpower. Section 5. Real confidence is quiet, redefining the narrative. So the crucial point is, when we look at the reality of the non-poster, a very clear profile emerges. They are emotionally grounded, they are highly self-aware, they are completely unbothered by external validation, and they are deeply secure in their true identity. So the next time you notice someone who doesn't post pictures of their life, never assume they're just shy or awkward. They're likely far more emotionally intelligent than most people online. Ultimately, it all comes down to this profoundly powerful realization. They don't need to be seen to feel seen. That right there, that is the absolute definition of ultimate internal validation. That is what real confidence actually looks like. Which leaves us with one final, kind of provocative question to turn this whole psychological lens directly back onto ourselves. As you go about your day and open up those apps on your phone, ask yourself, does your confidence require an audience? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this completely changes how you view the quiet ones in your digital world.